Hello everyone, welcome back. In the previous episode, we talked about timeouts and how you can make your child listen to you. This is the 12th episode of our series, Parenting One Step at a Time. If you're a parent, you know the nightly challenge to get your kids go to bed and stay there. It's not easy, but it's one of the most important things you can do for them. Whether you have an infant, toddler, kindergartner, or preteen, a good bedtime routine can be the difference between good sleep habits and a lot of sleepless nights. There are no hard and fast rules for bedtime, and every child is different. What is important is to build a routine that works for your family and to stick with it. And that's what we are going to talk about in this episode. But before that, let me introduce myself to all the first-time listeners. I'm Alpana Dev. I'm your host. I'm a published author of A Girl in a New Town, a blogger at motherscircle.com, a freelance content creator, and a mother of two lovely kids who are my greatest source of inspiration for all my parenting posts, articles, and now podcasts. Welcome to Mother's Circle podcast. According to verywellfamily.com, a bedtime routine includes all the things that you do with your baby or older child just before and up to the time when you put him to bed, such as taking a bath, the last diaper change, putting on pajamas, saying prayers, and reading a bedtime story. Well, now you have done it all and you are ready to crash on the bed, but your child is still not ready to sleep. The only option you can see is co-sleeping. You fall asleep while putting your kiddo to sleep. But slowly it becomes a habit, and later it gets hard for you to break it. What can you do now? Let's see how can you deal with co-sleeping, and let's find ways to change the bedtime battle into bedtime bliss. Yes, that's what we are going to talk about. So before we begin, let's look into the definition of what exactly co-sleeping is. Co-sleeping, also called bed sharing, it's a practice in which kids share the bed with their parents. Co-sleeping is quite common than we think, but it is one of the controversial topics in parenting. When we entered the parenthood journey for the first time, we have been strictly told by our child's pediatrician that we should not be doing co-sleeping. It was because of the several dangers that are associated with co-sleeping. However, parents have mixed opinions about this topic. Those who co-sleep found it easy and convenient, both from the child and their perspective, as the already exhausted parents need not have to get up every now and then to calm down their baby, and also because the baby sleeps peacefully in the warmth of his or her parents. On the other hand, parents who follow no co-sleeping rule are ready to figure out a way of taking turns when the baby wakes up. Co-sleeping also refers to sharing the same room but letting the baby sleep in his or her own bed. We have followed this method with our daughter till she turned 4, and now we are doing it with our son as well. After our daughter turned 4, she started sleeping in her own room. And we are going to follow the same with our son as well. I feel occasionally when the baby is sick and needs our warmth, then there is no harm in giving a break to this no co-sleeping rule. That's why I feel whether to co-sleep or not is a personal choice of any parent. Whatever works for them should be their choice. So let's see the positives and negative sides associated with co-sleeping. Let's talk about the benefits first. Co-sleeping boosts baby's development. When the baby is in your room, it helps their sense development. They know when you are in the room. they get used to of sound, smell, movement, touches, and heat. It's a win-win for both the child and the parent. New mom or new parent is exhausted and they want undivided sleep, which is tough to get, especially during the initial months. During that time, if the baby is co-sleeping, then the mommy finds it convenient to catch up on some power naps with the baby. Compared to getting out of bed and going in the other room, feeding, and then again get back to sleep afterwards, it's tough if your baby is within an arm reach. New moms often find it easy to feed them as well. And when they're feeding them, when the baby is so close to them, it is actually a bonding time. When the baby is sleeping with the parent, they feel safe and cozy. The warmth of the skin makes the baby feel secure. Mommy can sing lullabies in her soft voice and the baby falls asleep quickly. But she should make sure that the baby is not too snuggled up. Bonding time can also happen when the baby's crib is close to your bed. Co-sleeping also helps in better sleeping patterns. Some parents complain about their baby being a light sleeper. They try co-sleeping and it works for them. Since the baby is close to the parent, they sleep much better. The placing of a crib in a same room, or say next to the bed, or even in the same bed, can reduce the baby's anxiety, which in turn will lead to a better quality of sleep and less disruptive sleep patterns. If they can hear you in the same room, they may well stir but go back to sleep on their own after a time. It also helps in faster postpartum recovery. Giving birth is a life-changing experience. When a new mom is trying to figure out many things while going through the postpartum phase, cranky baby at night becomes even more challenging. If you have gone through a tough delivery or a C-section, then getting up from bed every time your baby cries is difficult, as your body and pain won't allow you to do that. By having your baby near your bed will let you limit your activity and movements. It also controls prolonged crying. Since you are able to hear your baby and soothe him or her before the slight discomforts turns into a loud crying, you are able to control the prolonged crying. And it's not always dangerous. If you put your baby's crib in your room next to your bed, then that's not wrong. By placing the crib in your room, you are solving both the purpose of co-sleeping and also eliminating the danger of SIDS. This will help both of you to sleep better. Well, co-sleeping also has some downsides. Let's begin where we ended the positives, that it could be dangerous. Yes, earlier I said it is not always dangerous. That was when your baby is sleeping on a separate bed, but sharing your room. Now, if you're making your baby sleep next to you, then yes, it could be dangerous. While you are in deep sleep, you are not aware of your surroundings. Your hand could go close to your baby's face that might cause suffocation. Baby might feel overheated. I know it feels good to snuggle, but a baby can overheat easily. And overheat is one of the risks of SIDS. Newborn has to stay at an even temperature throughout the night. Our body heat can make them even hotter. And yes, the transition would be tough later. I have friends who had a tough time transitioning their kids to independent sleeping. Kids get used to co-sleeping very quickly. It becomes hard for the parents to transfer them to independent sleeping habit later. They become so used to sleeping with their parents that it is hard to convince them to sleep on their own. Kids feel insecure. Around 6 to 8 months, babies start understanding the presence of their family members. They start to understand something called object permanence, which means They know the existence of people around them even when they are not there. This includes mom and dad. When they co-sleep and if they do not find their mom or dad next to them, they burst in tears because they feel insecure. While there is an increasing shift toward the family bed, the ultimate decision should rest on you, the parent. This should clearly be your personal decision because each family's case is different. Whatever might work for one family may not necessarily suit another family. So make your own choices. Think from the long-term point of view and then decide what works for you, your child, and your whole family. So this was about co-sleeping. Now, once your child grows a little older that he or she can sleep on their own, one new challenge comes into picture. At some point of time, every kid is introduced to their own bedtime routine. We all want to train our kids to sleep on their own. For some kids, it's an easy act, but for others, it's a battle. They do not accept this change that easily, especially if they are in the habit of sleeping in your room and sharing your bed. So, first thing first, start letting them sleep in their own bed. I'm going to tell you 6 tips, or you can call them secrets, that have worked for us. The first one is very important whenever you are trying to set up any kind of routine. Stick to the routine. Stick to a fixed bedtime for every single day. Exceptions can be made on Fridays or Saturdays, but try to follow the same bedtime routine as much as you can. Every kid has a biological clock. Having a pizza and movie night is exciting for every kid over the weekends or on Fridays. But staying up late just because you are watching a movie is not a good idea. Eat at least 60 minutes before bedtime. This will help the child to sleep without feeling stuffed or full. According to me, 60 minutes is a good gap between dinner and bedtime. If it gets longer, then there are chances that by the time your child is ready to go to bed, they will again start feeling hungry. Then instead of bedtime, there will be a snack time. And yes, ambience matters. Who won't like soothing, calm ambience in their room during bedtime? If your child does not feel comfortable in sleeping in a dark room, then put a night lamp. With young kids, make sure that they are comfortably dressed. If they are too cold or too hot, they will not be able to sleep peacefully. Follow a good night routine. If you read a bedtime story with your child, then read it. Lie down by their side for a few minutes. Don't wait for them to be fully asleep. When you're lying by their side, tell them that you are leaving now once the book reading is done. Obviously, your child might ask you to stay for a little longer, but tell them that you will check after a while. Mostly they are asleep within 5-10 minutes after your departure. Afternoon naps, yes. For older kids, even 15 to 30 minutes of afternoon nap acts as a power nap. So, if your child is saying that he or she is not sleepy in the afternoon, then please don't force them to sleep. If they sleep, then forget it, that they will be in the bed on time. Security objects. Bedtime means separation, and that can be easier for kids with a personal object like a doll, a teddy bear, a blanket. It provides them a sense of security and control that confronts them and reassures your child before they fall asleep. I'm sure with these tips, you can change your kids' bedtime battle to bedtime bliss. Co-sleeping or setting up a bedtime routine for your child is an important step, but it should happen gradually like any other milestone or transition. For us, it's not a big deal, but for them, it is. So, prepare yourself, prepare your child. Have lots and lots of patience. It's not that tough. So, good luck with setting up this new routine. In the next episode, we will concentrate on reading habits, storytelling, and other areas of language development. So, stay tuned. Till then, stay blessed, stay happy. Happy parenting.